The Greater Philadelphia area is taking a regional approach to planning for the future. I'm Jill Horner. This is Comcast Local Edition. With me this hour is Barry Seymour, the Executive Director of the Delaware Valley Regional Planning Commission. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks, Jill.
Before we get into this long-term vision, explain to us a little bit about what you do as a commission.
Sure. Delaware Valley Regional Planning Commission, as you said, is 9-county planning agency for Greater Philadelphia area. We include 4 counties in southern New Jersey, the 4 suburban counties, southeastern Pennsylvania, all around the city of Philadelphia.
So you really take a long-term approach, and you have a new plan in place that looks at the next 25 years and the needs of the community. It's a 4-point plan. Talk to us a little bit about how this plan would work and what this vision actually includes.
Sure. Well, the plan is actually a required element. We manage and program all the transportation funding that comes to the region, all the highway dollars, all the transit dollars. So the federal government requires a transportation plan. But in order to think about the transportation needs, we wanted to really take a more comprehensive look at the region as a whole, where it's come from, what the growth patterns are going future.
We're looking at significant growth over the next 25 years, 750,000 people, population growth. So what does that mean in terms of the demands on the transportation system, and what are all of the other areas that you need to address in order to accommodate the needs of a growing population?
Sure. Well, the main thing to start with is, where are people living? Where are they living? Where are they working? And how are they getting back and forth? That's the majority of the trips. And so we started by looking at development patterns. The plan proposes and advocates that we really look back at our existing communities, the Ardmores, the Conshohockins, the Norristown, places where you can walk to services, where you can walk to a movie or a store. By focusing growth back in those communities, it takes some of the pressure off the roads and allows us to use transit. We also look closely at our development patterns across the region. By focusing that into those centers, we can preserve the natural resources, the key watersheds, open space areas across the region.
So it's really comprehensive in terms of not just providing transportation needs, but all of these other quality of life issues that surround transportation.
Sure, the transportation flows from our communities and how we choose to live. So by protecting open space, by focusing growth, we can then identify how and we travel and what our transportation improvement needs are, and that's a key component of the plan.
So transportation, preserving open space, having these livable, walkable communities using mass transportation are all key components in the plan, but you're also talking about providing energy efficiency and that being an important component of the economy as we move forward into the next 25 years.
Sure. There's really a couple of related issues. It's energy, it's greenhouse gas emissions, and it's economic development and jobs. And those are really related. Basically, about 30% of our greenhouse gas emissions in this region come from transportation. So if we're going to think about reducing greenhouse gas emissions, reducing the impacts of climate change, we need to really focus on transportation. But we think that there's an economic opportunity there. Yes, there'll be a cost, but we think that there's also an opportunity because this region is really well positioned to take advantage of a new energy economy through our environmental consulting, our manufacturing. We think this could be an economic growth area for this region.
We're talking about a large geographic area, 9 different counties. We have cities, suburbs, some rural areas actually included in this. Why is it so important, even with the diversity of the areas that we're talking about, to approach these kinds of concepts as a region?
Well, everything is related. I mean, the future of our suburbs are tied with our cities. The future of our small towns is tied to our big towns and our suburban areas. It's really one economy. While people may live in one town or a borough within the region, the economic decisions that happen at a much larger scale, where companies are choosing to locate. It affects everyone. We all travel. No one lives, works, plays, shops, spends all their time in a single township. They all cross municipal boundaries. So we need to think together and work together as a larger region.
Just a few seconds left. This is actually the plan, connections, and that's really the theme of what you're talking about as well.
Exactly. That those issues of land use, transportation are connected, but the issues of the different townships and communities in the region are connected as well.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We've been talking with Barry Seymour. I'm Jill Horner for Comcast Local Edition.